This is the only Brawl Stars guide you will ever need. I decided to take my 6 years of experience and condense it into a 12-minute video for you to learn everything you need to become better. This is a no bullshit guide. We're gonna talk about important theory you need to know, advanced practical stuff on how to improve your overall skills, and the one thing that makes everyone tilt and start playing worse and worse. So watch closely and stick to the end and your Brawl Stars skills will drastically improve. Starting with some easy technical stuff. First things first, you need to understand all brawlers. I know it's hard, but that's the truth. If you don't know the brawler that the enemy is using, you won't know whether you need to push or avoid them. But there are almost 100 of them, so the best thing to do is to test them out in the training cave and study their abilities. Plus, if you don't have them all unlocked, this will help you understand where to invest next. But now, let's see how you can max out your account super fast. First, if you're an adult and you care deeply about the game, spend some money on it. It's the fastest way. But I know that a lot of you can't do that. So as a free-to-play player, you need to follow these rules. Always think about what brawlers you want to unlock next based on your playstyle and the meta. That way you can push more trophies and get more rewards. To make it easier for you, these are the best meta brawlers right now that in my opinion can be played in most cases. Apart from that though, you should primarily focus on brawlers that are playable without their gadgets or star powers. That way you only need to buy their gears and wait for a lucky star drop for their other abilities. So these are some brawlers you can unlock and use right off the bat that don't depend on their abilities. And last, push more. Don't be lazy or scared, just push. You need resources, so you have nothing to lose. Now there are 3 ways you can create a good friend list that you're proud of. First, join a club and play with your clubmates. Second, join different Discord servers and find like-minded people who want to push with you. Mine is in the description down below, so you can start from there. And once you've completed these 2, you'll have some decent friends. But if you want to take it one step further, join your friends' lobbies when they're playing with other players. Play your best, and once your session is over, ask if you can add them. But now let's move on to some more advanced stuff you need to practice to improve your skills. Before that though, a quick note. If you want a deeper breakdown of anything I'm mentioning in this video, check the description. I've linked some videos there where I dive into those topics even more. Now first up, we have aiming and dodging. Let's focus on the patterns first. The first one is the straight line. This is good if you know that the opponent is auto-aiming, but you can't use it against better players because they will lead their shots. So if you see someone walking in a straight line, lead your shots to where they want to go next. Second is what I call the zigzag. This is good if the opponent expects you to walk in a straight line and aims in front of you, but it's still predictable. So if your opponents use this pattern, either auto-aim or shoot behind them when they change directions. Third is what most players call dancing. It's basically staying at the same spot but making subtle movements to confuse the enemy. This is really good against enemies that lead their shots expecting you to commit to one direction. But bad players will easily shoot you down because they're mostly auto-aiming. So if you see someone using this pattern, just auto-aim them and you'll be good to go. The fourth pattern is not really a pattern. It's reacting to the enemy's shots. If you have good reaction times, abuse this. But if you see someone just reacting to your shots, try anticipating where they will go next. When you get them low, most players panic and they will start moving normally. That's your chance to read their patterns to shoot them down. And the last one is using a combination of all those patterns. This is the best way to dodge by far. If you see anyone dodging like that throughout the match, just give up, man. Nah, just kidding. Try reading their patterns and when they use them. For example, they might use dancing and then zigzags when you're trying to shoot them. So next time you should anticipate that, expect them to go into a zigzag and lead your shot. To make it easier for you, I made this table that you can reference to every time. Now some general tips to perfect your aiming and dodging skills. For aiming, you can shoot the enemy twice in the same direction to guarantee at least one shot. You also need to shoot close to walls where the enemy is likely to go and hide. But for dodging, try counting the enemy's ammo and push them when they're reloading. Also try visualizing the enemy's shot and find the best route you can take to effectively avoid it. But keep in mind that none of this matters if the map has a lot of walls or bushes. In those maps, maps, you need to master positioning and map awareness. These two go together. Map awareness has to do with the position of each brawler. Not every brawler can play in every side of the map, so being aware of those areas is key. If you control the mid, you can control the lanes easier, so try focusing on that first. But lanes are equally important, and they're the ones who create the most pressure, so don't neglect them. And just because I'm kind, here's a list of all brawlers' positions. Now, positioning is all about creating one thing. By placing yourself correctly on the map, you apply pressure to the enemy. And pressure alone is enough to win. But there are some rules to pressure the enemy correctly. First, make sure you have the best matchups possible. This is where lane switching becomes important. For example, if you're playing Mortis and the enemy team has a Shelly and a Dynamite, your main target should always be Dynamite. But smarter opponents will also try switching lanes. In that case, keep rotating to stay in the lane against Dynamite. Now that you've got better matchups and you're pushing your enemies back, it's time to start pinching with your teammates. Pinching means two players targeting the same enemy from different directions. When done right, the enemy has nowhere to escape, but once you take one enemy down, the key is to maintain the pressure. Use bushes and walls to your advantage and don't go back unless you're low on health. However, nobody plays perfectly, so the enemy team might land a few good shots and start pushing you back. Here's what to keep in mind. When your team is under pressure, you should fall back. Otherwise, you risk getting killed and putting your team in a worse position, potentially costing you the match. Once you go back, focus on identifying which enemy is applying the most pressure and work with your team to pinch them. These brawlers are usually assassins or tanks hiding in bushes, or throwers shooting behind walls. Once you take them down, try recovering the pressure. Position yourself smartly, making use of walls, bushes, and key areas of the map, and slowly push the enemy back. But it's important not to rush your push, because if you die, you will eventually get pressured again. These are the 4 basic skills you need to have to win every match. So to practice them, just hop into some friendly games or play some scrims. Otherwise, if you want to become better fast and you don't care that much about trophies or elo, the best thing to do is to practice them in real matches against different players every time. But it's not over yet. There are some more advanced concepts that you need to know to perfect your playstyle. For starters, let's see how to draft in ranked. First, this is a list of every brawler classified by their category. You'll notice that some of them belong in more than one category, especially support brawlers. This depends on the map, the mode, and the matchup. If you play max in Brawl Ball with 2 tanks, your role is purely supportive. Provide them with speed and try controlling the map for your tanks to push up. But against snipers in Bounty, Max suddenly becomes an assassin, using her super to push the enemies back and get a kill fast. But why are brawler categories important? Because this is a list of all their best and worst matchups. Now let's talk about how to pick brawlers depending on the map and mode. This is important in both ranked and trophy matches, so pay close attention. There are 3 basic types of maps. Closed maps favor tanks, assassins, and anti-tanks. Open ones favor snipers or controllers. And the mixed ones can favor every category depending on the structure. So I made this table where I explain which maps are better for each category. But I'm not gonna analyze every mode because it's gonna take ages and I value your time. So here is a list of the best modes for each brawler category, as well as a list of some of the best brawlers to play in each mode. Again, I will put links to videos that I made where I analyze everything extensively in the description below. But this next part is really important for your Brawl Stars journey, and that is to understand the meta. To do that, there's only one thing you need to know. If you see you're getting destroyed by a specific brawler, even if you technically counter them using the brawlers list that I gave you before, that can mean 2 things. Either your brawler sucks or the enemy brawler is really powerful. You can tell if your brawler sucks when you can't seem to win with them consistently. But if you find yourself winning and only losing against a specific brawler, yeah, that brawler is meta. So that one thing is to actually play the game and take some notes on what brawlers can easily destroy you no matter your comp. You can also watch YouTubers that analyze the meta every season, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's best to find out which brawlers are meta for your level. For example, an Edgar can dominate against bad players, but he will get destroyed against better ones. But now let's also mention some of the best strategies to use for each mode. For Brawl Ball, you need some mobility, so you can go 2 tanks with a support brawler. If the map doesn't have unbreakable walls, you can also go Colt, Stu, or Griff alongside with B and another anti-tank to break open the map and counter high HP comp. bombs. In Gem Grab, you need brawlers that can sneak up on the enemy. So Jackie, Lily, or other brawlers that can isolate the enemy gem carrier are good here as long as you have at least one brawler to control the mid. Now for Knockout and Bounty, some really good strategies are Kid with literally any tank, Gus with Daryl, and Jean with Buster, Max, or Carl. It really depends on the map though, so be careful. In Hot Zone, you can't go wrong with Barry, Doug, or Gray, alongside with tanker brawlers to capture the zone easier. And for Heist, try using at least 2 high damage brawlers like Melody, Colt, Carl, Barry, or Chuck, alongside with the brawler that can control the mid and defend at the same time. But now, as promised at the start of the video, I'm gonna reveal to you the one thing you need to master that ties everything together. Without this, no matter how good you become, you will lose a lot. And that is your mentality. You should always try encouraging your teammates both in game and in the chat and give them hints on how to play better. If they're better than you, they should try doing the same thing. But when you lose, just keep it together, man. The most important thing in this game is to be patient and friendly. So don't be toxic. There's no reason to. You should also try finding your mistakes by watching your replays. No one does that. But trust me, if you start doing it, you will be able to identify your mistakes while playing. And once you can do that, you will eventually reach a point where you will be able to spot a mistake from afar and avoid doing it. Again, it takes time, so just be patient. You got this. Now as a bonus, I don't know if this applies to everyone, but I found out that every brawler becomes more enjoyable the better the skin is. For example, I didn't enjoy playing RT at all, but once I bought a cool skin for him, he instantly became one of my favorite brawlers. Now if you found value out of today's video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It helps me a ton. But if you want a better analysis of everything, you can choose to watch one of these videos next or head to the description to find which one you like. And hopefully I'll see you there.